Okay, so when you're done printing, you're just gonna have like these 6 TPU parts right there, like that. So this is the inner mechanism, and this is like the what the finger is. So when you print it, it's not gonna look like this. It's gonna look more like this, but I just have it like this because it wasn't a finger, and I just have to disassemble it real quick. And then these are the PLA parts. So we're gonna so it's not gonna be like very formal. It's just gonna be like as we go. So you're first gonna put these two together like that. So like there's two different things. There's this one and there's this one. The difference is that these guys go up and these guys go down. It's different, as you see. So you're gonna stack those up, and then you're gonna put the pins. Just for now, let's put it like here. It's not permanent. I'm just gonna put it on so like we can do something. Because like these are gonna be very, I guess compliant. So just do this for now. And then first of all, we're gonna put these on. These are the sockets. I mean, I call it the dip shield. So what you first want to figure out is like, so this should be the inwards. That should be going inside, and that should be the outside. So outside is round, and then inside is something like that. So and then this is the top. That's the top, and that's the bottom. So you just wanna slide it in there. So like you see these two holes, right? Two holes right here, not these, just the one that is the closest right there. So you're just gonna slide that on. Slide that on like that. And then for the same thing here. So make sure that it's this thing, like little bit curved instead of that round. So you just slide it in there. And then we're gonna put one pin each side, just for now. And then after that, we're gonna do the same exact thing on the other side. Not, I mean, not really the same, but so also you have to make sure that when you see up here, right? When you see, actually, let's see down here, like the, so this is gonna be like the outside, and that's the inside. So you first have to make sure that like which side is like a little bit of like that, like you see that little sticking out. So sticking out should be inside, and then it's smooth outside and sticking out inside. So when we do it here, you see those little things sticking out, right? So we're gonna do that, and then once we put it like that, it's gonna be like inside, inside, outside, outside. Okay. So the only difference here is that we're not gonna put these pins. We're just gonna put the thing on. So make sure that the sticking out is the inside. So when you're putting this on, make sure you don't do this. You gotta go on the other side because the outside should be the round one. So you're gonna put this like that. It's basically the same thing. Actually, we're gonna. Okay, so we have this, right? So now this is the middle part. So for the middle part, we're gonna go like that, right there. So as I said, this is the top, that's the bottom because there's two holes right there. So you're just gonna like put it on. No, actually, let's do something else first. So put the pin here in the middle guards, sheath, whatever. Put that there, and then you're gonna put the other TPO part now, this guy. So for this guy, you have to make sure that this line is going like to the left, not not to the right, to the left. To the left, right? And then just push that in. And then it's gonna be a little tricky if it's like all stiff up, but it's gonna be easier for me because I already have the unstiff. So when you connect that thing, we're gonna have to do the same thing on the other side, like just like that. So just make sure it looks something like this, and then it's pointing outwards. And then same thing on the other side, but there you go. But now you have to make sure that, so like this was going down, right? Now we have to point it up instead of pointing it down like that. So point it up, put it in there, and then the same thing over here. So make sure that when you're putting this guy in, don't do this. Like, don't point it inwards. You have to point it outwards. So we're gonna do something like X here. Something like that. And then now we're gonna put this part, this middle part. So as you can see, these two guys are gonna go in here, and then the middle part, this guy is gonna go in here. So you have to make sure you line that up perfectly. Just put it in there like that. Just like that. So now we're gonna first put these guys in the middle right there. Also, when you're putting these in, only put these in like up until like right there. Right there. Don't go like past. So what I want you to do here is that, so like we have this little X thing here, right? Inside. And then we have to make sure that these, okay, let me just put it out for a second. So you have to visualize this. So in here you have to make sure that these little pins go like this. So like that. So like these pins are basically a guide. So like you can't really put it like that. Let's say like that. You can't put it on the same way. It has to be like this exact X. Like that. Also, later on we're gonna also put these pins, right? These right here. I'll just explain it now. So when you put these in, you also have to make sure that all these pins go inside. So it'll go inside like right there, in between the two TPU parts. So what I don't want you to do is either do something like this, like going like this guy's like outside of the ring there. Just make sure that everything is like inside like that. All right, we're gonna put everything out. Also, tweezers are really nice for everything in this assembly. It just makes your life easier. So we're gonna put this guy back in. Make sure that you know what's the top, what's the bottom. Just look for these two little holes. Just put it on there. Just like that. In the middle, just make sure that these holes line up. Like that. And then make sure this is inside, not outside. So in between those. So we're gonna start from the middle. Just push those in for now. And then now you're gonna get the tweezers to make sure that it goes as we discussed last time. So yeah, like this is really tricky, but you'll get used to it. It's not that bad. So as you can see, it's in there, it's in between. And then make sure you only come out like this way, like about that much. about that so we can put the other side on. So now, you remember this thing, right? I guess just take those out now. Take those out. And then for you right now, it's going to be like very stiff like that. So it's going to be really hard to put it in. And then, yeah, just text me if you're having problem with that. So now, we're also going to put these guys out. The outer parts we put in for stabilizing. So now, you also have to make sure that, so like there's this side, there's a side with like 2 holes, and there's a side with like 3 rows of holes. Just make sure you line that up. And then first you're gonna put these guys like that on the one side first. On one side first like that. And then bring the guy over here and then put it in the middle. You don't have to really be careful about that for now. And then just make sure that you line those up perfectly and then put it in here. Okay, it's gonna be quite challenging. Like that. Like that, just like that. Perfect. Just like that. And we're gonna finish it off by pushing it all the way in, this middle part. And then just put these in now. Make sure that you follow the thing we talked about last time. So like don't make it so like this guy goes in like that. Like you're not supposed to see the pin like this. You have to make sure that the pins are always under these tendons. Like under, like that. Put that in. Also put this guy in. Make sure it's under. Just lift it up a little. Go under. Same for these guys. Lift it up a little. And go under. Lift it up a little. I mean, if you want to lift it up, just push it in there like that. And then it should come out like that. So we're basically done with like the core finger mechanism. And then don't put this for now. I'll explain that later. But so we're gonna have these 2 parts now. This is the fingertip, and that's the finger to MCP part. So finger to MCP, it basically means like just connector part. So this is the tip with 3 rows. So just put it in like that. So this little thing should face right, and then you just put it in like that. Boom. And then for this guy, it's just simple. Just push it in. Just like that, and then you can start pinning these guys down. Hold on. Make sure these are clean, because like these supports can get in the way sometimes. You just push that in, just like so. And then it might look something like this. It's not perfectly lining up. That's okay. Just push it in. Like that. Push it in. That's just to make sure like these 2 guys are like stable, because it can get quite flimsy. Same for the tip. We go in. So for these pins, I think you need 16 each finger. I mean, you're gonna need like 18 as I am gonna add like a TPU part here a little, and then you're gonna pin these down. But as for now, I'm not gonna cover that. So now that we have a working finger, so I'm gonna explain the cabling and the other things later. but that's basically how we do it. And then these screw holes are so that you can make sure. So let's just put it in. So these holes are to make sure that the fingers always go 90 degrees. What I mean by that is when you just do this, right? It might go like when you pull it with the actual tendon, it might go like this or like that, like at the 90-degree angle. So you're gonna have to calibrate that by hand. And then these are just M2 screws. I think you can just buy a kit on Amazon. I can just send you the link. But yeah. I just honestly just put it in the second slot. So there's first, second. And then you just put these guys in. Like that. The rubber bands. So for this guy, I mean, it really depends. Like, you just gotta calibrate it. For me, this works. So, I mean, it's not perfect, but it should be okay. Alright, that's basically the finger assembly for now. Then just put the bearings in here, and then I'll talk about these guys on the other video. Yeah.